Hello everyone, this is Leandra here at New Vocations Racehorse Adoption Program's Lexington, Kentucky facility. You might notice the surroundings are a little bit different if you follow our videos regularly, because generally we are filming from the training side, and today we are over at our rehab barn, which lies just right across the street from our training farm, so it's very easy to get back and forth. But as with our training facility, we are part of the Merriworth Farm property, which is a 1,200 acre lot of land. It's a historic farm, and they also provide sanctuary to around 150, 70 horses, lots of horses. They provide sanctuary to lots of horses, and we are lucky enough that they provide us with some of their property to house our horses, to have the training facility, and to use this barn, which is theirs. It's their Williams barn, which is a historic part of their farm as well. And generally around 19 horses stay over here. Oftentimes they're horses who need really the hands-on part of the rehabbing process. We have some horses who live outside 24/7. And these guys, many of them have been through surgery or have needed some part of the transitional part of the rehab that involves stall rest or just limited turnout, and they ease their way up to having more complete turnout generally before they go over to the training side. So without further ado, let's meet some of them. One of the really neat horses over here who has clearly enjoyed himself overnight. If you can see, I'm not sure how well it comes through in the video, but this is Annihilate, who has decorated himself with hay and mud. So he's had a nice spa day outside in Mother Nature, but he has already had quite a transformation here, where he has gone from a more race fit physique to having more of a belly. He has definitely slowed down his metabolism, and you can see he's just kind of enjoying being in company, even with me right outside of his stall. And he just had a little more heat and a little more spice to him when he came right off the track, and he's just really soaking this all up now. He's a really good boy. And Annihilate is healing from a sesamoid fracture, but he's doing really well, and we're really eager to see how he comes along in his rehab process. And we'll skedaddle down the aisle, and you can see in this stall there's a horse named Kadar, who's getting the beauty treatment from Harmon, who works predominantly over on this side. And so Kadar is getting cleaned up, having enjoyed the mud himself during his turnout time. And I'm not sure how well, again, you can see the video, but with both of these horses and quite a few of our horses who are rehabbing right now, they're big horses, dream-worthy forelocks. So we have a lot of really nice looking horses for you guys to look forward to if you track the horses who are coming through our program at all. This guy, Moonlander, is one of my favorites over here, and I don't like to pick favorites really, but again, dream-worthy forelock. Look at this. And Moonlander has also gone through quite a personality transformation, or he was enthusiastically reaching for the ceiling often when he was first over here, and he has settled down quite a bit. And because of his name, I think there are many opportunities for coming up with nicknames, so I would love to hear from you guys. Again, if you missed it, his name is Moonlander, so let me know what you think his barn name should be. We can come up with a good nickname for him together. But he stands, let's see, so at the top of my head I would be 16'3", because I'm 5'7". So he's probably 16'2" or 16'1" at least. He's a sizable guy, and he's got a really good build. Right, bud?
Oh, we have a suggestion for Eagle.
Eagle. I like that. We were thinking like Neil Armstrong, and this is a different approach. I like Eagle. Get some votes out there, see what you guys think. So that's Moonlander. And many of the horses are out. If you kind of scan the barn, you might be able to see kind of quickly some of the stalls open, and those guys are outside. So we have both night and day shifts, and some horses who aren't going outside quite yet because they're on stall rest. And we'll see ready to show here quickly because it's another one of my favorites.
Oh, we have another suggestion for mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. That is a good one. Come here. This is one of the biggest sweethearts you could possibly imagine. This is Ready to Show, who had some fragments removed from his knee. And he is a very sensitive soul. He is a big cuddle bug. He and I had a bonding moment when he got scared and broke his halter in the trailer as I was bringing him back from surgery. And he just stood there like a perfect gentleman. He was really scared, but he was so well behaved. And we love each other. Thank you. Don't eat the microphone. But Ready to Show is a big, sweet boy who is looking forward to being able to do a little bit more as he rehabs. But he's a really nice dark bay, almost black looking. So I think the girls over at the training barn sort of nicknamed him Black Beauty. He's not quite black, not a true black, but has definitely that impression. So another one that I wanted to show you guys is Autostrad. He came fairly recently and was clipped when he came, so he's actually growing in. You can see maybe that he's rolled, so he's covered himself. He's decorated or given himself some little sprinkles, and he's napping, so he can't be bothered to come around. Maybe he will. But this is a horse who's also had a lot of personality development in his time here and is really settled in, which you can maybe tell is kind of a trend. But it's something that we see dramatically here because we have horses who have injuries. Maybe they're starting to feel better, and that's a transformation they can have, or they're used to being in a track environment. This is a little slower pace, maybe quieter. There's less going on. And as a result, we see the horses change in personalities. And then again, over at training, then we get to observe the way that they handle different stressors, different location changes, different environments, and all of that feeds into how we end up placing the horses down the line and how we figure out who's going to be the best adopter, the best environment, what's going to be ideal for the horses both physically and mentally. We have one of the barn cats, Nemo, here. Thank you. Who likes to keep the barn clear of mice, so we appreciate that, and our grain bags appreciate that. And finally, for the horses who are inside, this guy, he's really stunning. His name is Dr. Victor, and he actually is getting surgery tomorrow to remove some chips from his knee. Hey, buddy, you are such a good boy. He is gorgeous. He's dappled. He's got really thick bone structure. Come here. Come on, bud. He is really eager to get out, so he won't be able to get out of his stall much for the next couple weeks after he has surgery, but he'll be feeling better quickly, hopefully, and then we'll get him back out and going. And this is definitely a horse that I think will be one to look out for in the future. He just has a really nice head on his shoulders, and he said, "I would like to come out, please." I'm sorry, buddy. But he is just a sweetheart. But, there's a lot of understanding that has to happen with anyone who's working with horses who are rehabbing, just in knowing that it's a stressful situation for them when they have limited turnout, or when they're not feeling well, or, they see buddies going out and they can't. So we're very grateful for both the staff who are here, but also it's a good thing to keep in mind if you're ever in a situation where you're rehabbing a horse that's just they're going through a lot mentally as well as physically. So it's really important for us to be understanding of that and be able to handle those situations with compassion and in a way that's safe for everyone. So let's just take a really quick glance outside. It is a rainy day out here, so we won't go out too much, but you can kind of see some of the setup. You can see one of the horses enjoying some round pen action, and that's been a step up from stall rest for that horse. And maybe you can see beyond that, we have different turnout options on both sides. So like I mentioned before, horses can transition appropriately from stall rest if they need that, or whatever phase of turnout they're in. Then they can have sequential graduations to bigger sizes until they're ready to start training. So this allows us to have checks and balances for our system. So if we put them out in a bigger turnout and they don't do well, then we can always move them back to a smaller turnout or back to stall rest. And by the time they go over to training, they're very well set up for success. And all throughout, it gives us an opportunity to assess their personality, and again, feeding right back into our assessment of what will be appropriate for the horses, both mentally and physically, with the adopters. So there you have it. It's not the prettiest of days out here, but it's what we've got. And thank you so much for joining us today on our Stable Pass video. Thanks for joining us, Nemo. It was really sweet of you. And please tune back in for future videos. Check out our website as well, newvocations.org. And thanks for joining us today.